A Peace Guide, The Enemies Are Elitism, Greed, and Hate. Peace Introduction. I gathered the many lists of peace websites for peace organizations, anti-war organizations, peace activist organizations, religious peace organizations, the United Nations and many other resources for this anti-war, non-profit peace field, which is useful for people looking to volunteer, do activist work, major in peace studies at college and otherwise work in this field, which has a presence in many organizations and governments around the world. Even though I think a lot of peace efforts are fake, there are nevertheless jobs and career possibilities in this area of life. There's a peace university in Costa Rica. Some colleges have peace studies and peace majors. Graduates can work in foreign affairs and for international government and development organizations. It's tied in with the field of international relations and the NGO, non-government organization, / non-profit sector. People are trying. It's just that the military manufacturers and bankers are so pro-war and rich that they control the mass media and easily manipulate the masses into patriotic fervor or into the Hegelian dialectic whenever they want, to serve their own ends. I think if the United Nations was real, we would have had a permanent utopian world peace by now. I believe that overpopulation disrupts peace. They did those elementary rat studies many years ago where they put rats into an overcrowded situation such that they cannibalized each other, killed each other, etc. The guy by the name of H.R. Christian, who created the George Guids in the U.S. state of Georgia, said we should have a population of 500 million people on planet Earth. At that population, there would be enough for everyone. By the way, somebody bombed the Guids, so they're now gone. I agree. I think if the human population was low enough such that everybody had a house and enough food, people would not be fighting each other for the limited resources, the limited jobs, the limited opportunities, etc. The tech magazines like Wired say that artificial intelligence and automation are going to reduce the number of jobs by 50%. I've read articles about the driverless truck. Truck driving has been a stable job for a lot of working class people. When truck driving goes, the crime rate will go way up. We cannot handle all these people on this planet using water up, energy up, etc. The United Nations should stop babies being born until the population goes down to under 1 billion. That's what wise people would do. That's the rational solution, but they're too wimpy to do it. Having babies is not a human right if it threatens all of human life. A lot of people are talking about human extinction like Guy McPherson. Fox News acts so outraged about the migrants coming in at the southern border, but a minute later, they're talking about the football games on the weekend as if there's nothing urgent going on. We're screwed because we're not desperate, and we won't be until things happen like the water starts to run out, food doesn't get to supermarket shelves, etc. Chapter 1. Greed Destroys Peace. A Peace Essay 1. Evil rich people and rulers have lied to the people since the beginning of the human race to goad them into fighting wars that ultimately served the interests of the few at the top. We could be living utopian lives in a united human race right now where everyone is taken care of no matter what, but instead, the world is a big mess with over 200 artificial entities called countries. It's hard to simply travel around these days because of all the phony paranoia about national security and terrorism manufactured by the evil rulers to control the masses. It's all in George Orwell's novel 1984 and Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. George Orwell was a British agent in MI5 in the 1930s to 40s. I believe he saw a long-range plan written out somewhere for world dominance and exposed it the best way he knew, but he only lived to 1950 anyway. His real name was Eric Blair. He worked on propaganda for the BBC. There is only one planet Earth. We could all be world citizens with a guaranteed income, free to travel anywhere at will if there were less than 1 billion of us. Our weakness is that there are so many people that we're all fighting for the few dollars available. We never hear about Major General Smedley Darlington Butler, 1881–1940, as an American hero because he wrote a book called War is a Racket in 1935, where he said he was used by big business to exploit third world countries for a few rich fat cats. War is about profit. The people who make money from war create them. They are military workers, corporate suppliers to the military and bankers who lend money to both sides. They create the ideas of patriotism and nationalism so we can glorify the dead on Remembrance/Veterans Day. The truth is that a handful of elitists made a lot of money off a war while some people died ultimately for nothing because life goes on the same as always. They say you're fighting for freedom. You're really risking your life so some rich people can get richer. Somebody said that the Pentagon accounting books were off by $3 trillion for several different years, meaning they can't account for about $3 trillion for many different years. That kind of money could create the greatest utopian civilization ever, but we spend it on planes, on bombs. They try to make us feel ashamed if we're not gung-ho about going to a foreign land to risk our lives for a bunch of lies. No country should have a military presence in a foreign land. Adolf Hitler was funded by bankers and corporations worldwide through Switzerland, which was conveniently neutral. Nobody bothers Costa Rica. They don't have a military force. There are no freedom fighters/terrorists swearing to get revenge for the deaths of their people there because they don't go out asking for trouble, sticking their noses in other people's business. They changed the name of War Department in most countries to Department of Defense to fool us into thinking that they're defending us. The truth is that about 99% of the people don't want war. They want to live peaceful lives, but we let ourselves get suckered in by the few people who control the war industry. Patriotism and nationalism are indoctrination. We could stop wasting money on the military easily, but politicians are so gutless that they're afraid they'll lose votes if they speak against the uselessness of our military forces. We waste trillions of dollars on useless military forces while there are poor, homeless, unemployed, disabled people everywhere. We had Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. The world is so messed up that they're giving the Nobel Peace Prize to warlike people. A peace essay 2. There's individual peace, which is peace of mind, living with yourself without getting hung up on capitalist brainwash, always fretting about not having enough. There's peace of the human race, people not killing each other en masse as groups, live and let live. I'm not talking about squabbles among individuals. I'm talking about people in tribes, countries, cultures, and groups not banding together to attack another group. It shouldn't be hard to do. The one world government idea was popular in the 1930s, but they neglected one thing: we don't want a dictator like one world government that controls us all. If you want to get really advanced, we go one step further and leave the animals alone too. We don't need to eat meat. There is plenty of food from the flora and fauna of the earth. Most people are scared wage slaves. They don't have the guts to demand change. The elitists who run the world own the mass media. They can manipulate the people very easily by putting anything they want on the media, and most people will believe it. There is fake manufactured news and false flag operations. A Buddhist guy said, if you worry that your government is corrupt and evil, you'll never be happy because that's the way it is, that's the way it has always been. I can't fight the world of evil people. The good ones end up in jail on trumped-up charges or dead. Look at Snowden, Assange, or Traffic Anti. JFK said a nation should not have secrets. He got assassinated. They make whistleblowers look like traitors, traitor to a bunch of pro-war fat cats. The people can wake up to the point where they're ready to unite to change the world. Right now, the pop culture celebrity realm has got all the activist leaders beat in spades 1,000 times over. As long as people keep following sports and entertainment as opposed to what's really going on, the human race will go nowhere fast. This is by design to keep us all a bunch of stupid, pacified consumers. Peace of mind is accepting your life now in a thankful, happy way, not constantly fretting over what you have versus what you want, where you are and where you want to be. We're constantly brainwashed to want more by the advertising media. That's the root of discontentment. Can you see goodness in life, or is it never enough? Can you see goodness in others, or are they just nuisances to you? A peace essay 3. There is almost no peace among the human race between people, companies, countries, cultures, religions, sports teams, genders, age, etc. Yet these are mostly artificial entities. Society has trained us to compete with each other as individuals for money, status, fame, admiration, etc. Belong to a tribe which is egocentric. Most tribes think they're better than other tribes. It starts with the street gangs and goes to countries, cultures, and religions. The Torah says a certain group of people are the chosen people. Stuff like this creates a superiority complex where everybody but the chosen few are considered subhuman savages to be used and exploited. Any person's life comes down to what you do right now every moment in your relationships with other individuals and animals. There is almost no peace among individuals. Society has brainwashed us to be constantly on the go, working for money, buying stuff, paying bills, filling our minds up with crap on TV, YouTube, billboards, magazines, etc. We feel like we're on the capitalist treadmill in order to feel worth. This is an indoctrinated value. We've been brainwashed to compete in everything, like how much money you got and how good looking you are compared to everyone else. There's constant war. They say war is about democracy, yet why does the American government, or should I say its runaway organizations, the many military security agencies, each of them separate in its own little world, CIA, the NSA, and its propped-up dictators in many countries constantly push war by claiming someone is threatening us? Type the name David Emery or the term economic hitman into any search engine to see that there are many small groups of people with power and money everywhere who see themselves as entitled superior entities with the right to wreak havoc anywhere they see fit to aggrandize their fantasies and agendas of what they want. As of now, most people are so pacified or so scared as wage slaves that they don't want to get involved in anything beyond their little lives where they earn a little bit of money, pay a lot in income tax, which I'm against, governments taking our hard-earned money from us because of a fraudulent banking system, and then quietly chew their cud, so to speak, never thinking or doing anything about the idea that we could live in a better world if we all got together and did something about it. There are many activists and peace advocates talking about peace. Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson are earlier champions of the simple, back-to-nature, peaceful lifestyle. I live for peace within myself and hope for peace in the world. I have come to the realization that the less I involve myself with the brainwash of the world, the more peaceful I am. Are you a selfish pig? I shall not take more than I need while others in the world have less than they need. Do you have more than you need? Is frivolous junk from the mall good and fun? Do you have a good conscience when you stuff your face or fill yourself up with pop culture junk, or do you know deep down that you're violating a sense of decency and goodness because you're living in excess while others are homeless and starve? Are you a pig? I'm not going to make the reality show I recently watched about a female who is famous for being famous. She made a lot of money off her brand, which is her image as glamorous person. I watched a few episodes of a reality show about her living in a mansion. She is self-absorbed with her meaningless, trivial life. There is no thought or urgency to her life to help any of the desperate, huddled masses out there. She owns at least 100 pair of sunglasses, 500 outfits, 300 pair of shoes. Contrast this to the people interviewed on the YouTube channel called something like The Soft Underbelly. I remember reading The Great Gatsby in a literature class when I was about 18 years old. The teacher told us that's the way it is. A few rich people who own and control everything can even get away with murder. The human race is a fight for limited resources. Rich people do not want to give up one little bit of their excessive elitist lives to help others. If this was true, we wouldn't have massive mansions or $100 cars, but the insanity goes on. If you're in a pig pen with other pigs, you're a pig. It doesn't matter that 100,000 people are in the stands wasting their time watching some silly football game. If 100,000 people got together anywhere for a good purpose, we would change the world greatly for good very quickly. We live in a world where people gather every day in great numbers for meaningless entertainment, but they won't unite for peace and prosperity for all. We worship rich people. We got an internet billionaire with nothing better to do but make tweets giving his criticism and advice about all kinds of trivial things, and the mainstream media publishes it as news, but get somebody coming forth and saying the US Federal Reserve is a corrupt, evil private bank that keeps us all in bondage, and they can't get any media attention. The Golden Rule according to different religions. Bahá'í. And if thine eyes be turned towards justice, choose thou for thy neighbor that which thou choosest for thyself. Lahi Lbni Dhib, Epistle to the Son of the Wolf 30. Buddhism. Hurt not others in ways you yourself would find hurtful. Yudhanavarga, 5:18. Christianity. In everything do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets. Matthew 7:12. Confucianism. Do not unto others what you do not want them to do to you. Analects 15:13. Hinduism. This is the sum of duty, do not unto others which would cause you pain if done to you. The Mahabharata, 5:15-17. Islam. Not one of you is a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. 40th Hadith of An-Nawawi 13. Jainism. A man should wander about treating all creatures as he himself would be treated. Surtrakritanga, 1 hour 11 minutes and 33 seconds. Judaism. What is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbor, that is the whole of the Torah, all the rest of it is commentary. Talmud, Shabbat, 3:1a. Native American. Respect for all life is the foundation. The Great Law of Peace. Sikhism. Don't create enmity with anyone as God is within everyone. Guru Granth Sahib, page 259. Taoism. Regard your neighbor's gain as your own gain and your neighbor's loss as your own loss. Tai Shang Kenying Peen. Zoroastrianism. That nature alone is good which refrains from doing unto another whatsoever is not good for itself. Daudistani Dinik, 94:5. Tannenbaum Center for Interreligious Understanding. Tannenbaum.org. Peace Days during the year. One Day in Peace, January 1st. Peace Day, September 21st. End Racism Day, March 21st. End Hunger Day, World Food Day, October 16th. BetterWorldCalendar.com. January 1st One Day in Peace. Third Monday in January King Day of Service. January 30th to April 4th Season for Nonviolence. February Black History Month. March 1st Renewable Energy Day. March 8th International Women's Day. March 21st End Racism Day. March 22nd World Water Day. April 7th World Health Day. April 22nd Earth Day. 2nd Saturn May Fair Trade Day. May 22nd Biodiversity Day. June 20th Refugee Day. June 26th End Torture Day. 1st Saturn July Co-op Day. July 17th Justice Day. August 6th Hiroshima Day. August 12th International Youth Day. September 21st Peace Day. October 4th World Animal Day. October 16th World Food Day. October 18th Media Reform Day. October 24th UN Day. November 13th World Kindness Day. November 16th Tolerance Day. December 1st World AIDS Day. December 2nd End Slavery Day. December 5th Volunteer Day. December 10th Human Rights Day. December 31st World Spirituality Day. The Global Peace Index. The Global Peace Index ranks countries in terms of peace. They consider the most peaceful countries as Iceland, New Zealand, Austria, Portugal, Denmark, Canada. worldpopulation.review.com/countries/most-peaceful-countries. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/global_peace_index. visionofhumanity.org/indexes/global-peace-index. statisticsTimes.com/ranking/global-peace-index.php. Global Peace Index, @GlobPeaceIndex, Twitter. twitter.com/globpeaceindex. facebook.com/globalpeaceindex.